Griffin the Griffin by BlackWing. Chapter 43. Pink. Author's note. Oh, just great. I have to try and write things from Pinky's perspective. Wish me luck. I'll need it. Reader's note. Yeah, I feel ya. Same here.
La 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 la. This is so much fun. Okay, maybe not as much fun as some of the other parties I've thrown, considering I already used up my party supplies, but it's still fun. All my friends are here. Griffin and Gilda and Trixie and the kitty cats and the diamond dogs. Well, Fluttershy and Growl aren't here, but they already went to bed, but that's normal. She gets tired too, so quick, and I was never really one for exciting parties. Oh well. The party was going to wear me down. Twilight kept telling Dashy about how the discovery of aliens was the biggest discovery ever and how much their knowledge could help and blah, 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 and stuff like that in some school that I didn't understand. That was boring! And Rainbow was saying that none of that mattered because she beat him in a sparring match with Major even more awesome. She really likes to toot her own horn. Wait, Dashy isn't a unicorn. She doesn't have a horn. If she did, would it be Rainbow too? What would Twilight's horn sound like if I tooted it too? Oh, right, going off on a tangent. Griffy said I should do that. Speaking of which, where is he? Growl, who is actually really nice and doesn't growl at all, and Sleepyhead Fluttershy both have gone to bed. Shivers with Mr. Monitor. Twilight and Dashy are arguing. Applejack is talking with Etch about the families. Maria's with Selma doing stuff. Terrace is sleeping, same with most of the cats, and that leaves Rarity, who's crying, but not in a really sad way, more of a needs time with herself because she learned something dreadful that only she can do something about kind of way. She needs a bit more time to think before I can cheer her up. That leaves Nadine! I pounced, but instead of knocking her over like I do with ponies, she caught me and started squeezing me.
Pinkie Pie, your mane smells like strawberries.
She started rubbing her face in it, hugging me tighter. Can't breathe!
Oops, sorry.
She loosened her grip, but kept hugging, purring slightly.
Why are you ponies so soft? Is Trixie this soft? If she is, no wonder Griff lets her ride him. You're like a big fluff of cotton candy.
She's almost talking as fast as I usually do, which is super because now we have somebody who can talk that I can actually keep up with. Don't know, just darn. Get snacks? She nodded and then put me down. We both rushed to the only remaining table full of caught infections in the hall, as it was close to the end of the party. Most every pony else had gone to bed or was winding down. Honey banana mango squares with mango green apple frozen yogurt on the side. There was lots of mango. The plate was a massive mango. I really love mango. They're Griffin's favorite fruit. She replied, it's funny, when somebody talks with their mouth full, you can't understand them unless you have your face stuffed. As soon as you put food and everything you manage to mumble, it suddenly makes perfect sense. I wonder if I should ask Twilight about that. It might distract her from the hoof thing. I still don't get what she's going on about it. You just pick it up. It's easy. After swallowing our mouthfuls and taking a deep gasp to get out some air, we sat around thinking about things to do. Bored now? You want to play pin the tail on the pony?
Nah, already did that. Pinata? Say suggested.
Already bashed and emptied. Griffin really shredded that one of a spider.
Especially after it landed on him.
She giggled. So did I. It was funny. I didn't know he didn't like spiders, but even a spider pinata wasn't safe from him. Well, let's go see Rarity. Trixie, Griffy, and Gilda are up to. They were hardly here the whole party. Hearing sobs come from Rarity's room, we knocked and she said to go away. Well, we went in anyway.
I want to be alone.
Oh boy, here's the waterworks and the dramatic poses. I really wonder whether or not she should have been an actress instead of a dressmaker. Never fear, your best friend Pinkie Pie is here to save you from the evil sad-making monsters.
Oh, Pinkie.
She dove at me with her hooves on my shoulders while lying on the ground. Nadine picked her up and cuddled her. She's really good at hugs and sat on the bed. It's okay, Rare Rare. Tell Aunt Pinkie about it.
But I'm a year...
Yes, I know.
Well, I had Griffin give me a once-over to see why I couldn't get a proper cold friend, she sobbed.
Wow, he was that harsh? Nadine asked in disbelief.
Well, he was harsh, but he did forewarn me that he was going to be brutally honest. But that's not it. It's about Spike.
You don't feel the same way about him that he feels to you. But you can't stand to break his heart. I know, my piggy sense told me.
But it's so awful. I don't know what to do. I don't know how I should tell him what I should say. He'll hate me after this,
she bawled, throwing her head back. I walked up and nuzzled her softly. No, he won't. He'll understand. Despite being a baby dragon, he's only a few younger than Twilight. If he was a pony, he'd be bigger than Sweetie Belle. He's stronger than you think. You just have to have him sit down and explain with him. Yes, it will hurt, but so does having a splinter pulled out. It needs to be done. And the sooner it happens, the sooner you can both get over it and be friends afterwards. Rarity sniffed, then dove from Nadine's arms to mine, wrapping her own around my neck. Well, not my arms, my front legs. Right, I gotta stop my thoughts from going off on a tangent, which sounds like tangerine. We both sat there for a little before we parted. Rarity's makeup was running. I don't see why she wears it. She's plenty pretty without it. She gave me a weak smile, but it was a smile nonetheless. Satisfied I had done my job. We left her to her room to take a peek into Gilda's. She was sleeping soundly. Then we went over to Griffey's just in time to be bonked by the door opening as Trixie left. I was fine, so she didn't give it away any mind. We walked in to see him cleaning up. His room was pretty messy.
What you doing?
My perky cat friend asked.
Oh, just planning a surprise.
Yes, he responded. Ooh, I love surprises. Is it a party? Because I love parties. I love surprises and parties, which is why I really love surprise parties. He looked at me strangely before going back and cleaning his stuff up.
No, Pinky, it's not a party. I'm designing a tool. Something that will help us later on. Nowhere near building it yet, but that means I have plenty of time to work on it.
The pirate captain explained. Well, if you have plenty of time, then why do you spend it down here working on whatever you're working on instead of enjoying the party?
Well, because I feel awkward at parties, even if it's my own crew. That, and you know how when Twilight gets an idea in her head, she just needs to work on it. If she doesn't, it'll drive her crazy. Just like when there's a birthday coming up and you just have to plan a party and you want everything to go perfectly. It's kind of like that. Oh, so what's it do?
Nadine asked.
Can't tell you. That would ruin the surprise.
He replied.
Trixie knows. That's because I thought she might be able to help with it. Can I help with it? Do you know anything about mechanics, engineering, magic, or parabolic lenses? No. How about photon resonance, heat dissipation, and metallurgy? I don't know what about what and what. Afraid not. Sorry, you'll just have to wait.
Ooh, you're making science fiction-y stuff! Shh! This is Pinkie Pie, Captain of Starship Friendship. Captain's log started 5 minutes from now. Today, we encountered a naval squad of aliens from Cygnus 12.
Pinky, how can it be stardate 5 minutes from now?
Griffin asked. Well, duh! It's science fiction, so it has to be in the future. Twilight's novel says so.
Wouldn't it be, a little farther in the future?
Nadine asked. You never know. Maybe Griffey is about to have a huge breakthrough, and we'll all go into space in this airship. It does look like a flying saucer. Both of them just cocked their heads on one side and burst out laughing. Yay, I made them smile. Once they settled in, Nadine said she was tired and was going to bed, too. She's a cat, and cats sleep a lot. And when she was tired from partying all day, so I let her go. She's fun, and we can have fun tomorrow if she's tired. I stayed behind his room. He looked strangely at me before asking.
What?
You!
What about me?
He responded. You act mean, but you really just want a friend. Why? It's easier to make friends when you're nice. He took a deep breath and then sighed.
I had friends. Or at least I thought they were friends. They betrayed me. All I ever did was try and get them to have fun, make them smile, and...
He sighed again.
I won't go into detail, but ever since then, I stopped trying to make friends. I figured they'd just turn their backs on me again, as soon as they couldn't use me anymore.
Then they weren't friends. Friends don't do that.
Yeah, but how was I supposed to know that they would? So now, my friends are the ones that I know I can trust, who've been there with me through thick and thin. I know that they won't turn their backs on me as soon as it's convenient, but there's always the nagging doubt in the back of my mind, because it happened once before. I keep reminding myself that this is a different world and that things are different here, and that it won't happen again, but truthfully, I'm scared, Pinkie Pie. I'm scared of having friends because even if they don't betray me, they can still get taken away, and I'll be all alone again. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to lose any of them, which is why I work so hard to make myself the best I can be, so they will never get taken away. I've read far too many stories where the hero loses a friend in a tragic accident that could have been prevented. I won't let it happen to me, so I have to prepare for everything.
He had tears in the corner of his eyes, but he was forcing them back, not letting them out. You're right, but this is a different world. Things are different here.
That's the thing. In my world, I was convinced the universe hated me. Nothing, and I do mean nothing, ever went right for me. My parents told me at age 5 that I was worthless, and that I would never amount to anything, and they wished I would never been born, so they'd have more money to buy things they wanted. All I was to them was an accident that ruined their lives. Do you have any idea what that does to a kid? That's the whole of reality, flipping you the middle finger, telling you, guess what? You're not allowed to be happy, so stop trying to be. As soon as you accept the fact that you're supposed to be miserable, the sooner you can get on with it in wallowing in self-pity, isolation, and going insane the rest of your life. I hated it.
I considered asking him what the middle finger meant, but I assumed it was something vulgar.
I'm not supposed to be happy. In my universe, there is an unwritten law stating that Griffin cannot be happy, which is why I'm not in my universe anymore. I never want to go back, and every once in a while, I think that this might all just be a dream or a hallucination, that somebody slipped me some kind of a drug in my coffee, and I'm currently passed out in a cafe. I'm scared of waking up and having none of this be real.
He was crying now. What about Echo? You met him here, and you didn't know him from before. You can't just make this stuff up.
Yes, you can. Discord's imagination is on par with a 6-year-old human, so that says something about us. And I do know that this is real and that this is my life, but again, I still get those nagging doubts. What if it's not? Or what if it is, but the one who randomly sent me here suddenly decides to send me back? Honestly, I'd rather die than go back to that place. All it is a slow death, lasting your whole life. Well, for me anyway.
Seeing him like that didn't feel good. I like to make ponies laugh and smile. Whether it be a party for a happy occasion or a hug on a sad one. It's what I live for. Griffin really needed a hug. He probably never had one before. I slowly walked up to him, put my chin on his shoulder, and wrapped my hooves around his neck. It's okay. No matter what happens, Aunt Piggy will always be here, and I know you're a year older than me. We both just sat like that for a while until his tears stopped. He began idly combing through my mane.
Thanks, Pinky. About when we were in Ponyville, I'm sorry. You were just trying to be nice, and, well, I'm not nice. I told you not to laugh, when I mean, laughing is pretty much your thing. Might as well have asked you to not be yourself. It's just that all my life, I've been laughed and mocked. And this just turned into one more thing that I would get laughed at.
He sighed again. I know, but you forgave me, remember? And I already forgave you.
Yeah, but I still feel like I owe you something. Say, do you like to sing?
He knows I do. It's part of his alien thing. But it was nice of him to ask anyway, so I nodded.
I know a song that is delightfully cheerful. It's in another language, and in that language it's still mostly gibberish. It's usually sung while spinning a leek, which is a kind of onion.
But that's just silly!
Which is why it's so fun.
He smiled as if he had to sing while twirling a stick and skillfully, as if he'd practiced doing that, having it go over the top of his talon before twisting it with the lower ones to make it keep going and stay in position. After listening, it was really quite silly, but it was so much fun. The second time around, I began singing it too, and it seemed somewhat surprised that I remembered all of it. Just as I never forget a bass, I never forget a song either. I have a really good memory, although that makes me wonder why I forgot my birthday that one time. I thanked him for showing me it, then left.
Griffin's point of view. Pinkie Pie is second best pony. Twilight is still first in my book. After teaching her that, there still won't be any living with her. Maybe I should have waited till the end of the trip? Nah,